Welcome to another C4 race, but this time we are at the Yasmin Arena in Abu Dhabi for what in real life isn't always the most entertaining race, but in terms of, especially this week, but in terms of league racing, quite often pulls up some nice, surprisingly great races. We have already seen such race in C3 last night. A lot of battling, bit of contact, but overall a really fun race. So can C4 live up to the hype from last night? 17 drivers, so that's a really good turnout for tonight's race. Only Beyond unable to make it for the Williams team, and PG, who if I am correct is still a reserve, and also unable to make it tonight. If we quickly have a look at the really exciting, I'd say, championship standings as it has been. Ainz returns. He's the winningest he is the winningest driver in C4, but yet still sits in third place. Missed last week's race, which hasn't helped him much, as Brandon took the lead from Ticket in the championship after a win in Canada. 124 points he's on, a good 8 points ahead of Ticket, and then it's a gap down to Enzo Ainz in the racing point, with Hayward very close behind as well, only 9 points behind Ainz, but Ainz has 3 wins on his record, and we're about to have an on-board lap with a racing point driver. It's a very technical and difficult circuit to nail the lap. We actually have yellows somewhere else on the track. Skipping through this tight and twisty, now into the hairpin, getting close to the apex, and then launching yourself onto the straight, which loses a lane towards the braking zone, so taking the middle becomes the very outside of the corner, trying to hit the apex, try to get through. It's a difficult corner right there as well to nail every time, keeping to the inside, switching to the outside, getting the apex for the first of the triple chicane, getting a good run through there, braking, hitting the apex, getting the exit. So far looks like a decent run from the racing point driver. The heavy braking zone here, which is an easy thing to get wrong, very easy to lock up as well. Getting the run through the stadium section, taking all, well, he didn't take all the road, but let's see, through the final 2 corners where you can lose tons of time even after having a great lap. Let's see what the time will finish through the exit of the final corner. It's a 1:34.3. Ticket ahead though, put in a 1:33.6. So let's see how that goes. That's let's see, Dragos, teammate of Ainz, a bit off the pace, gets his times beaten by Giraffe, and Lower comes in with a 1:34.5 as well. Let's have a look and see how Brandon's getting on. He's coming to the end. He takes as much room as he possibly can. Going through the final 2 corners now. What's the time going to be? So 1:34.1, a really good time from Brandon, but still behind Ticket, who he's challenging for the championship. A win for Ticket, without Brandon getting the fastest lap. will put him within 1 point. If he wins and gets fastest lap, they'll be equal. And equal in wins in that point too. They will be pretty much spot on equal. Ticked having one extra podium, which will likely put him in front. If that's how it plays out, it could be very different by the time we get to it. Let's see if there's anybody still on a fast lap. We've got Doppelman here, coming through the triple chicane, getting on the power. He's got a time, it looked like he was going quick. Maybe not, he is out of fuel. So, composite, he hadn't set a time, maybe he got an invalidation on his first. Don't know if he was trying again, but it looks like the car ahead may have got in the way of that. They may have been unsure, backers around the other side of the track. Golden's going into the pits. Like 4 people yet to set a time. Cassell having, I can tell you right now, Cassell had decent pace in practice for this race yesterday, so we'll see how well that plays out for him. As I now choose on to the C4 chat, so I'm going to have a look at some of the comments just as backers coming to start his out lap. We'll keep an eye on Cassell as well, but they're both quite close on the track. So Cranky here supporting his C5 C5 drivers along with himself. That one 33.5, I must admit my best time possible that I've done is a 1:30, 33.9 or 8, somewhere around there. So I can improve on that, but that's still a very good time for a first lap. And also Liam here as well, enjoying a bit of the C4 qualifying before we get into the full-on action of the race. Backer now going down the second straight. He looks to be taking a bit of slipstream if he can from his brother and teammate. Not clicking each and every apex there, but again, very difficult to get some of this stuff spot on every time. The AlphaTauri driver, horrible camera angle, coming under the hotel, having to really get out of the throttle. Did not get a good run through the hotel section. I think we're going to see that reflected in the time. Yeah, it's a 1:35.1. Flying Boy Val also a bit struggled. The two Ferraris are C5 drivers as well, Ralph and Hans Smith. Yeah, they're doing not bad. They're 10th and 11th right now, ahead of some of the best drivers in the field. We'll do some off-board shots as we've already done a full on-board lap with Heinz, but he's back out there. A lot of drivers look to be on out laps. Backer in 8th with the lap that he put in, getting out of the way of Heinz, going down the main straight. His teammate is also out there on another lap. He's a little bit off the time. A good 9/10. No, actually, it's less than that now. Actually, sorry. No, it's more than that. Sorry, it's over a second behind his teammate. But also 2/10 down on his last lap is Enzo, and yeah, that's not great, but he's still ahead of some of the drivers. So let's have a look at the C5 drivers, see how they are getting on. They are quite close to each other, in fact, on the track. It looks like a purple first sector for Ralph. At least that's what it was showing, which is very good. He's still about a second behind the... oh, that's not good, Flying Boy. Well, let's see how much that may have slowed down, but following behind in a corner, probably not great for Aaron Smith. He's still slightly ahead. Ticket is very quick with that time. Some drivers just love certain tracks, and Ticket is really good here. And like I said already, his teammate Cassell is also quite quick as well. He's just not been able to show it tonight so far. But yeah, I was doing practice with him in the same session as him yesterday, and yeah, he was quick. Ralph posting a 1:34.7, very good lap time, gets him ahead of Dragos, who improved but still not reaching the 1:35s. Our Giraffe has just done that as well. Let's have a look at guys up the front. Is Ticket going quicker? No, and he's invalidated and looks to be struggling a bit lower. He's in second place, a good half a second at the moment behind Ticket, and we'll see how he gets on. Coming through this second straight, it's more of a banana straight, but there we go. He's a tenth and a half up as the Renault driver of lower. Keep an eye on Brandon as well. In fact, Brandon's closer to the end. I'm going to catch some slide there before the final corner, and let's see the time. It's an improvement. It puts him into the 1:33.9s. Dolphy Man also just done a lap in him on a 34 flat, just ahead of Lower, who was up. Let's see if that third sector was helpful for the Renault driver, and the answer is yes, but it's only third, just a couple of hundredths behind Brandon. We have the newest driver to the field, MRPK, in the McLaren. He was slightly up in the first sector. Let's see, he's now 6/10 down. As Cassell getting a clean lap in shows, badly sorry that I missed it, but he shows that yes, I'm right, he does have some good pace. Not quite up there with his teammate Ticket, a second behind actually, but Ticket is very much different. You're not really meant to do that. You can do it in practice, and I admit we were doing it in practice, but you're not really meant to do that in the race. Oh, I just noticed there that the McLaren driver just about saving his wheels. Ooh, let's see. Keep it together through the tunnel. Dragos has. Backer, he's invalidated. Composite though, he's on a lap. He's slightly down. I'd like to see Composite have a decent lap. By the way, let's just see. Just so you know, Cassell, if you watch this in the future, not me saying this, it's Evil Master, you can take it up with him. He says he doesn't think he can get a top 3 finish tonight. Let's see if you can prove him wrong. Personally, it will be a struggle, but I think the top 3, most of the top 3 is really up for grabs, but Ticket, at the moment, flying away in quali. So let's have a look. I think Backer, no, he invalidated. It's Composite we were watching. Everybody else in the pits. Let's see if the Red Bull driver can launch himself up the the grid. 3 minutes to go. No, he's deciding to pit and make sure he can get that final run in. Backer will likely, almost definitely do the same, as we have other drivers out on outlaps, and actually Dragos with 2 and a bit minutes to go, starting what will likely be his final lap. Everyone on softs to start this on the... It's a two-stop strategy really here, although safety cars can really mess with strategies, as we've seen in C3, quite a lot of pit stops during those safety cars, just to make sure you're on the right tyre at the right time, and it wasn't even raining because it's Abu Dhabi. Dragos on softs gets a lock up, but seems to be fine. It's a bit further on the exit than what you would probably want to be. Racing Point driver continuing. Backer continuing on those tyres actually as well. Outside the top 10 you might still see quite a lot of drivers starting softs as well. There's not, other than some possible advantage of being out at the front on the mediums longer, there isn't a massive advantage for starting on the mediums, I really don't think, especially if we get those early safety cars. Anyway, Dragos coming to the end of his lap. He's going to be up a little bit. He's into 11th. He's got time to do another lap. Let's see. Always Rick very far down the grids. Unfortunately for him, and he's made a mistake before the hotel section, so he'll have another go if he's got enough fuel, but definitely not looking great for this half of the Backer brothers anyway. He's only just down his time. He's really struggling around here. Second, he's just at the beginning of the lap, lower as well. Backer has invalidated and will not have another lap. 6 is the best he can do. He's going for it again at the beginning of his lap. The McLaren driver here, he's at the stadium section. Hayward's in the pit, so he is done. He's 9th at best. As the McLaren comes flying through the final corners. Ralph is out. He's crashed. The McLaren goes into 6th, but Ralph has had a crash. Wow, that's just before. Oh, there we go. That's where he was. Just disappeared before our eyes, before Flying Boy Val comes through. So Val gets away with that. Could continue his lap without being impeded by a crashed car. Let's see, is this a big improvement in time? It's not a massive improvement, but it puts him up at the 12th. Second, not bettering his time, but Brandon has, at the moment, got to keep an eye. We've also got Lord, he's just finishing his lap. He's got a couple of people ahead of him. But let's see the time at the end of this one. It's a good improvement, it's by a 10th. It puts him at the 2nd at the moment. Doppy Man right behind, let's see what he does. It's into 3rd. Just behind Lower. Brandon, always right, just about getting out the way there. Brandon will come through. Where will he be? Just behind Ticked. Ticked on his first lap was quick enough to take the pole, but Brandon it's really close. Just a 10th between the pole setters. Ticked, Brandon and Lower, top 3. And as it looked like there was going to be a big gap later on, Brandon, Lower, Doppyman and Ainz all getting under the 134 and not too far away from Ticked. as we seem to be continuing. We also have the newest driver. Oh, there we go. Now it ends. As it's showing up, MRPK, newest driver in the McLaren, is in 6th. Backer 7th. Nice recovery. Golden gets an 8th. Cassell 9th. From what I've seen in practice, I'm sure he can gain some places from there. Giraffe in 10th. Hayward will start, what I consider a position for him in 11th. Ralph 12th. C5 driver, not bad. Dragos 13th, out of position as well, I believe. It's Flying Boy Val in 14th. And Smith in 5th. Another C5 driver now in C4 as well with Ferrari. Always Wreck probably out of position 2 and 16th, and Composite, both Always Wreck and Composite needing to make up a lot of time after struggling in qualifying. Composite at the back of the grid in 17th. And we're got quickly loaded up for the race session, which is mostly under the darkness, and it will continue to get darker and darker throughout the race, as it does in Abu Dhabi. And we just await the drivers to select their strategies. Here's the strategies really is a 2-stop. See if anybody risks attempting a 1-stop. Maybe from outside the top 10 might be an option. From mediums to hards, although I'm pretty sure that the 2-stop is still quicker. Getting the overtakes done is the key, of course. Main places to overtake are obviously the straights and the heavy braking zones at the end of those straights. Let's see the tyres that these drivers have selected. Okay, here we go. So the whole top 10 are on their softs. Composite, Always Right, Aaron Smith, Flying Boy Val, Ralph and Hayward outside the top 10 starting on mediums. Dragos, the only person outside the top 10 to decide to start on softs. So starting on softs makes this a 1-stop. It makes this a 2-stop automatically. The medium starts could try a 1-stop, but I imagine they will also be. 2-stopping as the quicker strategy. It will be either what I suspect will happen here is in some way or form it will be soft, medium. There'll be 2 medium runs and 1 soft run for each of the drivers, or a medium soft if you can get your soft tyres to last long enough into the race. Of course, all of that can be wiped out in a matter of minutes or laps due to safety cars getting interfering. So yeah, here we go. Soft, medium there, medium, soft, or even hard it says. I don't know why you'd do that, but yeah, looking like a 2-stop strategy. We'll see what happens. Evil Master says, watch me do a 1-stop in C6. I may be able to watch you do a 1-stop in C6 if that's what you choose to do, Evil Master. But I'll say this, you will have to defend for your life when people with softer or newer tyres come blasting down the street at you. But I think looks like the locked on is the 2-stop. That doesn't surprise me, but we shall see exactly how this plays out. The championship gets strengthened. Yeah, the championship gets strengthened. It's ticketed on the pole position. It's the championship leader in 2nd place. Cars lining up. I can hear the lights going on. I can't see them. There they are. And the lights are now out. And away we go. as it looks like Brandon's got a better start. Ticket keeps the lead, and a couple of guys moving wide. It's quite close here. Oh, something's happened at the back. Lower was about to make a move on Brandon, but it's not happening. We have a virtual safety car. We were watching battle at the front, but it looks like there's been incident at the back. Wait for the timing screens to sort themselves out. One of the brake marker boards was destroyed by someone. I'm not actually remember who it is, but Dragos. Always Rick is down at the back now. Composites made a place. Dragos and the Softs is lost, and Smith is in, and Ralph has made up good positions. I'm still not sure what happened. We were watching the close battle at the front as oh, that was interesting there, as Hayward trying to, or Ralph trying to take advantage of the restart and got it. Really, he's up to 11th. Hayward back down, is down to 12. But Ticket at the moment just keeping a decent gap. Lower loses that chance to attack. We'll see if anyone pits, because that'll give us an idea of damage. And talking about idea of damage, it looks like it may be Dragos that's had issues, as Composite and Always Rick get through. So moving on, Ings, he's on the back of Doppy Man, and on the back of him is the other McLaren. It says Ticket has lost a position. Obviously that hasn't happened. Timing screen's going absolutely haywire at the moment, so I'll try to keep an eye. Flying Boy, Val and Dragos in the pits, so somehow they've been caught up in an incident in turn 1 or 2 near the back, which we have missed. I'm trying, believe me, to understand what's going on with the timing screens. We've got Ines. Let's see the slipstream that he might be able to get on Doppy Man. He's using a lot of ERS, and he will get the braking zone, I think. Moving to the inside, it's not quite there, and that allows the position to be held. Although Doppy Man gets a horrible exit, and that is what lets Ines go right past. Cassell's off in the back. There was yellow flags. I'm not sure again what has happened there, but there is a big gap now with Ralph in 10th to the rest of the pack. Well, over a second gap there, and then Ines to Lower is almost 2 seconds, and then also Brandon to and then Brandon to Tickets as Ticket starts pulling away. There's another yellow flag. I'm not actually sure why, because I can't see a car there. Actually, there is a car there. It's Always Rick, and he's got massive damage to his front wing. He was close with Composite, I think, but that didn't necessarily mean it had anything to do with him. It just means that that was who he was with. Backer must have been repassed by the McLaren, as now DRS will be able to be activated in the DRS zones, as we have reached lap 3. Yellow flags and a full safety car. Yellow flags for Hayward moving slowly. I'm not sure why, and then from him moving slowly, a safety car is put out, so that'll really help Always Rick and Dragos. So it won't help as the drive-through penalty that the Composite is going to get and have to serve after the safety car comes in. So okay, that's completely very interesting. The early safety car does help the soft runners if they choose to pit. Let's make that clear. So let's see how many of the soft runners choose to pit and get these tyres out of the way and have 2 stretches on the mediums to the end of the race. do kind of pit lap 14-15 and then put on another set of mediums to the end if they chose to have 2 mediums, which they always should have. That kind of messes up, and it is the top 4 in, top 5 in. MRPK can't pit because Doppyman's in ahead, yeah, everyone except from the ones that couldn't. So MRPK in the pits. Golden keeps going, which is a remarkable mistake from him. Even some of the medium runs. Oh, Hayward had to fix his wing. I imagine that's why he was going slowly, in fairness. I think maybe he's had either a coming together or a spin at the top of the hill and somehow survived it. But yeah, a lot of the medium runners even pitting for another set of mediums. I don't know how clever that is, because you're not going to have 3 sets of mediums. So they are trusting to go to more sets of softs or a hard tyre later on. But what we do have is a brand new driver, joined I believe in Canada last week, or maybe another race before then, and Golden, both on softs, will take the restart of this race. So I don't know if MRPK has been in other leagues, but this is I haven't often had to take a restart from the safety car. I think I've done it twice, maybe 3 times in my entire league racing I guess career. But Ainz and Bakker touching behind the safety car, and that's Ainz and Bakker both getting 5-second penalties. We'll see what comes of that another time later on in the stewards room if they do appeal those penalties. But yeah, we've so we'll see how the new McLaren driver can deal with the restart. In fact, no, he won't, as MRPK decides, no, I should pit. Possibly the right decision. Composite in the pits. So a few more people in the pits, including Bakker. Maybe again, no. Is there a wing? There's a wing change for Bakker. There may have been a wing change for Composite. MRPK just had to wait because of his teammate being in front of him. Bakker's on to softs, so mediums later on is a possibility, not the worst decision. Golden still choosing not to pit. Evo Master saying he started the safety car twice in his first season of racing. Well, I hope that went well. I know that, yeah, I've rarely taken the restart, often because I do choose to take advantage of a free pit stop. I think the only times I've ever had to take the restart is quite literally when I choose not to do that and everybody else does. So yeah, safety car in this lap, and it will be taken by Golden. Joined the season, joined RLH, at least to my knowledge, last season. Not sure if he's done a restart before, can't remember, but we'll see how it goes. He's the only one not to have pitted, so he will still have to pit a bit later on for tyres. Everyone else will also have to do that, but they only have 1 stop left, whereas Golden, unless he's going to try it, 1 stop, has another 2 to make. So we'll see. He's taking it really slowly. Ralph and Smith, who also haven't pitted on mediums, They started on mediums, so I agree with the decision that they've made not to pit, actually. Of course others may not, since again they're in the same position of not having to pit twice, very likely. But here we go, restart, away. Lower loses the back end, a few others having a bit of issues, someone's weaving in fact as well, warming up tyres on the straight after the restart. You don't really do that. Let's see, cold tyres could be a problem for some. Hines, is he going to risk that up the inside? Nope. Behind lower, and it actually allows the Red Bull of Giraffe to close in as well. Here we go, and Ticked just going to scream past, I think. It's still ticketed branded, but it's a 4-5 position for them. Steps back into the slipstream, and that was a good decision as he gets past Ann Smith and round the outside, keeping that outside line right in the curb. All the space given, good driving. Brandon still behind. Gets to the braking zone and just slips by lower behind. Nice overtaking move there. Doppy Man and Cassell in the same sort of battle, a little bit side by side through the triple corner. A bit further down we've got a good battle brewing here. Backer wanting to come back through the field after a good qualifying but a bad start to the race. This is allowing Golden to make the gap that may make not pitting work for him, as Ticked needs to get through the Ferraris. Ralph is now he's screaming away on the straight with overtake in use on Ticked as well, so maybe a different setup that makes Ralph quicker in the straights might help him in defending his position. I wouldn't have been using ERS there. Golden's got a 3-second time penalty which will kind of ruin his defence, and it's a virtual safety car as always. Rick has been collected or lost it. Composite and MRPK had to pit as well, so they had contact at the back. Let's just see if we can see. There's always Rick, so that looks like he's had contact, or well, he's definitely had contact with the barrier. He's lost control of that and ends up backwards. So it's another, we've had 2 VSCs and 1 full safety car, and we are 7 laps in. It's keeping it close, but it is meaning that there's a lot of non-driving. Ralph gets a drive-through. Oh, that is unlucky or careless. Probably both, really. Ticked will see that the guy ahead has got a drive-through, and will probably be a bit annoyed that he's not just getting out of the way for him. And Ralph continues. He's not taking the drive-through right now. DRS enabled because that's not affected by the VSC. Taking the inside line. Brandon will need to stay behind. He's too far away to get that move done. And Smith starting to hold up lower. Hines and Giraffe and Cassell, they're all in this. Doppy Man as well. All in this battle. And it's Hines, there's yellows again near the back, and it's a big loss of wing for Flying Boy Val again, having issues with other drivers. But we move back up for the battle for third. Ralph still enjoying pace, still enjoying some straight line speed as lower and Hines, and a late break from Asper to try and keep Hines behind, but it doesn't work. And he's actually got the Red Bull on him on this straight with DRS and a little bit of the usage of overtake. The Ferraris just struggling a little bit on the pace. Lohr and Hines in a battle, and that's a spin. They've touched. Let's see if Lohr can. Let's see if Hines can get back round. Composite with a 3-second penalty comes out ahead of Flying Boy Val, that's having his own issues, and Ticket screaming back up to Golden. But yeah, that's a difficult corner. You can go side by side, you can overtake it through there, but it's so easy just to end up in that position as Ralph comes in to take his drive through. And Ticket closing well in on Golden. Ralph gets a 5-second time penalty for the speeding as well. It's just starting to get bad to worse for Ralph. Ticket touching the back of Golden. I'm sure we're about to see an overtake for the lead. He almost wanted to go round the outside of the hairpin. Doesn't look like he had the greatest of exits. He's running out of overtake, but he's got overtake in use, and now he's going to run out of that, but he's got DRS as well. And there we go. Gets past Golden and retakes the lead of the race. Now we've got a Red Bull of Giraffe. He's closing on Ann Smith. Just got to be careful. And you've got a good battle dressing up behind as well. So that's not good for the third place in the championship. Enzo, as he now is at the back of the grid. He had to pit, I assume, with damage from the contact that he had with Lohr. Not quite happening. Smith's keeping it there quite well. Hayward just waiting for more to go wrong. Ralph would be still pretty well up there too if it wasn't for the drive-through from the VSC. But now we've had a few laps without any interruptions. And ooh, Brandon, you almost lost that one. But now we've got Brandon closing in on Golden. So if we want to see how well the hards work out, an idea would be to watch MRPK and see how far he comes through the grid and what his pace is. And that will show you how well the hards will work if we don't get another interruption. And how long they may go. As Brandon on the DRS straight gets past Golden, whose soft tyres are starting to really give up. Bit of a shame for him, but Brandon has a 2.8 second gap to make up on Ticket. We got a yellow flag, and that is it Emma? No, it's someone else. It was off. Maybe it was him, in fact, because he has lost time ahead. And is that Hines having issues? No, it's Dragos, who was right on. Sorry about missing some of this. He was involved. Oh, this is a weird place for an overtake, but Backer gets it done. It seemed like a really bad exit for Hayward. Looks like Dragos was either had a spin or got caught up in an incident with a battling. It's on lap 10. Ticket does have a pen. That'll be a 3-second pen, which means his the gap has grown though by 0.8 in just a lap or so. So Ticket really does have the pace. This close battle is seemingly having people going for moves or pushing just that little bit too hard. I wish we had some sort of instant replay sort of thing, because I would like to have seen if Dragos was a spin or an actual incident, but we won't be seeing that. It's a bit late on the brakes with the 3 ahead. Hayward loses a bit of time right there. his lure on Golden. Will he send that up the inside? He does. He's going to try and switch around and try the move into the corner after the triple chicane, and actually gets it done there. Someone being very nice in space. Right, now we've got Backer on Giraffe, and doesn't go for it into that corner, which is a very good decision. I think Composite and Cassell having a battle as well. Sorry about the flicking around as Golden finally chooses to pit. And Backer, after having good qualifying but a bad start, up to 6th with all the pitting, and with him being on softs and others being on mediums. Giraffe going way wide there, which will give Backer the run. Oh, that's a bit touch and go. Definitely a touch that shouldn't have happened. Backer does get through, and Hayward just waiting. They are so lucky that the contact was minimal and that they didn't send each other flying across the track. The Red Bull did turn in. Yeah, what I meant by touch and go wasn't the blame, was more touch and go because they were lucky that they didn't crash, as in they touched but they kept going. The move is complete, and Giraffe had lost the position, and Hayward continues to close in. Like, shouldn't be on my part. I don't believe it is, so we'll see what's going on there. A little bit of overtake just to stay close. This is the battle. This battle for 5th rages on. Backer kind of dragging Giraffe and Hayward with him. There's a big gap to Dragos, and then Golden, who's on mediums, chasing down Ann Smith after some points in C4. Really taking the apex there as Hayward, but just no way through with Giraffe having DRS, but he is now out of that DRS zone, which is going to give the Mercedes a massive run. He's actually side by side in the braking zone, but he's not going to be quite close enough to get through as Backer closes in on Doppyman. What about this time? Out of ERS in front, DRS but no ERS behind. It's side by side again, and it's a late braking manoeuvre and gets it done. Gets in front of the Red Bull before any touching can even happen in the middle of the triple chicane. Of course, that's lost Hayward some time, but he had to get through. Let's have a look at penalties. Brandon and Lower all with 3 seconds, as well as Ticket, so that opens things up there, especially with Doppyman being less than 3 seconds behind, I was going to say, but Doppyman goes and picks up a 3 second, and then Backer, who's closing in on the softs, is the one in the good position in terms of penalties. Giraffe here, Red Bull. Actually, we've got Dragos in the pits, lap 14. This is to go on another set of mediums, I am sure. Yep, which will do 14 laps, no problem. Now Backer not. Oh yeah, no, he is. It was just the Delta or changing because we're just in a hairpin. Giraffe needs to just save that ERS for any chance of an attack on Hayward ahead. Hayward got half a bar left and probably doesn't really feel the need to use it. Golden almost 13 seconds behind this battle, in a battle of his own with a Ferrari of Smith. So with DRS, close enough for DRS as well, so we'll keep an eye on that because that's still for points. Sorry for the flick through, but there seemed to be quite a big gap, and then Flying Boy Val just took over the position, and we've seen the McLaren reset to track, which isn't allowed and would have almost took out Ainz if he didn't just reset into the middle of Ainz coming through. So yeah, that's not allowed. You spin. He wasn't even touched, so it was actually his own fault, the spin, and he reset to track. That's just not allowed at all. Backer pitting, he's on another set of mediums, or a set of mediums, I should say. So Backer's right behind Composite as well now, so I'd love to see his battle back through the field, but we still got Giraffe and Hayward very close. There we go, there's spectating Hayward just for a second, but Giraffe and Hayward on a very close battle. We have Smith and Golden. Backer, well, here's his first victim of his drive back through and right into the points as he gets past the Red Bull of Composite, and he's going to try and get on the back of Cassell. So this will be interesting. We've also got people that will still need to pit, as actually, just to prove a point, Doppyman and Brandon into the pits as Ticked 7.8 second lead over Lower, but is continuing longer, so we'll see how that plays out for him. We're trying to find, let's see where people come out actually. In fact, because it's Doppyman. Backer will be ahead of Doppyman as well, so the undercut definitely working for Backer. Blind Boy Val with another no, it's first penalty. Composite's got two 3-second penalties. Backer really closing in on Cassell. Gaps don't seem so big now that people have pitted. Golden and Smith very close. Getting even closer with the late braking of Smith. Cassell is starting to really struggle. A bit of a locking up there at the end of the straight. Giraffe now in fourth. Brandon in a very good position after pitting and coming out, and absolutely no traffic at all. So yeah, Backer's now going to be in DRS. He got purple middle sector and he's chasing someone on softs. Backer is on an absolute charge. Another lock up from Cassell ahead, just making Backer get even more excited about about catching and passing. The quicker he does it, the less problems he has. Lower in the pits, I thought it was an overtake, that's why I shot up. But lower in the pits, we'll see where he comes out. There's no point in trying to overtake here. It is a fastest lap for Backer with 1:37.7, and that is a great lap at this point. And Lower comes out just ahead of this battle, so Backer it's not quite quick enough to jump Lower at the moment, and can't quite get past Cassell yet. But now is his chance. He's got a bit of overtake in there as well. Cassell doesn't. Here's some DRS. You might want to start using some of that overtake to get past. But the issue is Cassell has DRS on lower. So he's going to be stuck behind. So that's what's not going to work for him. For some reason, and I've just noticed that, there's a 21-second gap for Cassell. But obviously it's not 21 seconds. So that is very strange. It's less than a second. So I don't know why that's on the timing screens at all. In fact, did Bakker go for the move there? That's not the cleverest place to make a move. If that is the case, I would you really got to just stick behind once you got there. The only chance of getting past really is if you're already it's either side by side or slightly ahead even. It's just, even though it's a heavy braking zone, it's not really an overtaking zone. And Smith, he's still in this race, he's still doing really well. 6th place, 6 lap old tyres, and at the moment going quicker than Golden ahead. And no penalties, with Golden with 6 seconds, does easily put him ahead. So we might have 3 people ahead of him that actually still have to pit. It's actually quite... oh, hold on. Yeah, Ticked may have a 18-second lead to Hayward and a 19-second lead to Brandon, but that's getting it up, and the gap there will come towards Brandon with his fresher tyres. Bakker now gets a realistic attempt and gets through, but due to both of the guys losing time, it's now a 4-second gap to lower. So Brandon's been allowed past his teammate. It's an 18-second gap, which is only closing. And I'm not sure the time loss in the pit lane, but I think Brandon may be, if Ticked is pitting again, so he might be risking it all on the mediums. If Ticked is pitting again, he's likely going to lose the lead of the race. Cassell in the pits, slapping on another softs to go to the end, definitely possible now, which may be what Ticked is planning, to put on a set of softs and go to the end, which may give him a chance of repassing Brandon, or he's going to try and go to the end, which gives Brandon 9 laps to close in, a 16.5-second lead, which he's already been closing in. So let's get up to this wonderful battle that is now going on for what is P4. It's Golden in 4th, Smith in 5th, doing an absolutely great job, and behind that is Giraffe. Oh, and Giraffe with a mistake, allowing Lower to just sneak up the inside. Lovely done. Lower also involved in it, of course, and Bakker closing in again, although if he would have been already there earlier. So really quick is Bakker, so I'm sure we'll see him catch this up in no time. In fact, the fact that Lower is starting to pull away after that overtake on Giraffe makes that obvious. Oh, this is it even going to be close? Let's watch. Not even close, as Brandon takes a big lead, and Hayward, he almost was able to play the cork in the bottle, really. Hayward almost got past Ticked as well, so we could have seen some team tactics there, which might have been quite interesting, but well, fortunately for Ticked, he managed to get ahead of Hayward, and now it's all about closing down that 4.5-second lead that Brandon now has. And of course, for Golden, he needs to make up a gap, because Aaron Smith's still not got any penalties, and Aaron Smith is doing a really good job and looks to have a good chance at 4th place. Bakker struggling, it seems, is not struggling, sorry, Bakker getting past Giraffe. Giraffe is struggling, it seems. Well, it wasn't the greatest of exits from Bakker either. This is a 3-way at the moment, but I'm sure we will see Bakker close right up on this. 3-way battle for the 4th place. It's Golden, Asmith and Lower. And I wonder, Lower having a little look, but not going for it. Again, clever move. This actually looks like Hayward is going to get drawn right into it as he's not pitted. I wonder if he stayed out in the hopes of going ahead of Tickett and holding him up for his teammate. Didn't quite work, and Golden is now on the podium, but with penalties, which will knock him straight off the podium and give it to Asmith of C5. Is that 2 overtakes? No, that's because a couple of people are in the pits. Doppyman's into 6th now. Oh, there's a touch on the back. Lower, just taking a bit too much speed, but now there's a little bit of overtake still getting used. DRS, Asmith not defending, he's defending with DRS, not with ERS. Lower's got the line. Wow, that was almost perfect, really. Not a touch in sight there. Asmith managing to hold on. The Prof backing Asmith for the podium. Oh, they're going to stay side by side. There was a bit of touch and the camera angle had to go to a stupid one, unfortunately, but I think that was all fine. But Asmith, I think actually letting Lower through, I don't think he had to. Touching does happen, and I think that was all fair. But Asmith deciding to do the sportsmanlike thing, I believe, and let Lower through because he's pitting. Does he have damage? Don't tell me he had damage. There's no reason to pit. Oh, that is a shame. Asmith was on for the podium. Absolutely on for that podium place. And it's now looking like it won't happen. He's not got damage at all. Oh, that's because he's put on the soft. Oh, that is a shame. Still in the points though. But definitely had no reason to pit. Unless he had damage. Now we've got the genuine battle for the win. As penalties are equal. These two have the pace over the field tonight, and they have over the championship as a whole. And actually, hold on, that's the second car that we're seeing off in the exact same way. It's only yellows, no virtual safety car or safety car, which is quite lucky. Giraffe got past Ansmith, which is a shame for him. He really was on for the podium. So, stuck behind, still the yellow flags ahead, so there's not going to be... Oh, no, the yellow flags are now gone, so it's safe to overtake. It's actually good timing for the leaders. Now's how we find out what is Brandon's defensive skills like. Usually really good. Let's see how this plays out between the two championship leaders. One got the advantage with soft tyres, one on mediums. It looks like Tickett's got it done before the braking zone. Will the tyres give out later on, giving Brandon another go? We'll find out later on. But there's not much time left for that to happen. In fact, Brandon's got alongside again. He's keeping it in there. They're really battling this out. Steaming up the inside again with the medium, staying there as well on the apex. Great defending from Ticket, who's running out of ERS, giving Brandon a go. He's going to stick behind here. He's going to have a look at the battle for third place, but we've got this immense battle for the lead that I can't take my eyes off. These two going absolutely at it, as one of the McLarens has an issue behind. The gap's starting to grow, but it's still well within the DRS. If Brandon could just stay close enough, he keeps himself in contention. The softs wear out a lot more ahead and much quicker, and this could really still be Brandon's race. Not the greatest of exits, but he's going to have DRS. It's going to be too far behind, unfortunately, for Brandon. It's really late on the brakes, really closes it in. It looks like late on the brakes, but it's actually quite normal. The penalties are the same. Lord, he's going to move to the side, but thinks wisely and better of it. He actually had Backer on his outside as well. Not close enough for that wonderful battle that we've seen before there, but Backer, Lower, who have already had a bit of a coming together, and Golden all neck and neck. Doppyman about 6 seconds behind almost, and Smith disappointingly now down in 10th, fighting with Giraffe for 9th place. Just outside the second at the front, but if Brandon could keep close, I'm sure we could still have a battle right on the last lap for the victory tonight. Look at that, that's exactly what I want to see. These three cars all within a second of each other on the tiny main straight. Let's see, Lower still not really close enough. I believe Lower and Backer are equal in penalties, yes they are. So Backer needs to get it done if he wants the podium. Golden's really just fighting it off to hopefully for Doppyman not to close in enough to take the position from him. We're going to leave it on penalties because we know what everybody's on in terms of tyres by this point. Lower just not close enough, not going to take the risk. The guy ahead's got more penalties than him, there's no need, but he needs to be careful of the AlphaTauri behind Backer. Lower's going to make the move now though as he gets side by side. Let's just wait and see as they come around on the Haas. He's still on the outside, so he does back out, but that really gives Backer a bit of an advantage, but it's not really an overtaking place. Not that we haven't seen it. Then there's Ann Smith taking 9th. Again, he'll be a bit disappointed, but he's close enough to take 8th as well. As it's really getting like you can really see the floodlights coming into their own as it gets darker and darker. Is that Lower just on the back of Golden still? It's now a 2-second lead for Ticket at the front. Will that be too big for Brandon to catch back up? Unfortunately the answer will be probably. Backer really wanting to get through, but the greatest thing that's helping Lower now is actually having Golden ahead. They're all touching each other's rear end. A bit of snap on the back for Backer, which won't give him the greatest run down this straight. Actually having the DRS off of Golden has been helping Lower, but he can't let himself be slowed down too much. Golden's still fighting this. even with the penalties, and he just should have got his nose out of there, but that's helped Backer get through and Golden behind. Yeah, I think Golden really should have kept his nose out of there. But this means that Backer's got a really good chance for the podium here, because he's managed to sneak through. So instead of getting past Golden and having Backer stay behind, Golden's also been overtaken by Backer, and now Lord doesn't have the benefit of ERS. He also doesn't have much of the benefit of ERS, which Backer actually does with just under half a bar of energy. And it looks like Golden will now very likely lose the 6th place as well, which is a shame for him. He's had a really good race, but unfortunately having slightly more penalties than those around you is going to affect you in a very close race that we're having. Yeah, Cassell isn't going to get a podium, Evil Master, so you are right. Congratulations, I'm sure Cassell will want to have a word. But unfortunately for us anyway, and for Backer, it looks like Lord just has a bit more speed on Backer at this point. Oh, Backer's lost the back end. He's got yellow flags, and that's allowed Golden through. So that's definitely ended the battle for third. Backer will still get the place at the moment from Golden and be fourth, but so no need to risk it. But yeah, just a mistake of losing the rear end, and yeah, that's just sometimes what happens when you get towards the end. He managed to save it though and not hit the wall, which was very good. And one thing that he also didn't do was reset the track. So Doppyman closing this up. It's the final lap we're entering though, so I don't think he's going to be close enough to get Backer, which I'm sure he would have loved to have done. Unfortunately, Brandon 3 seconds behind. The death of the softs hasn't came quick enough, and Ticket pulls off a master stroke. Pulls off an absolute master stroke of a strategy. Soft, medium, soft. And Backer doesn't need to go for this overtake, and needs to be careful with his tyres, because we already seen from the spin that he's struggling. Hayward's closing in on Doppyman as well, and Smith. So we've got a few battles towards the end of this race. Is Backer going to try and get the overtake just for some glory points, which mean absolutely nothing? It looks like he is. He's got a big advantage. He's got past Golden before the breaking point, and it's good night. Well done for Golden, as Doppyman is set for 5th at the moment. But he has Hayward right behind. Not much in the way of an overtaking place left, but Hayward's on the softs. Can he somehow get that? He doesn't have to, actually. That's a really good point. Hayward has no penalties. He could just stick behind Doppyman and take... sorry for missing the front. Ticket take the win ahead of Brandon. Lower away back in 3rd. Backer 4th. Hayward gets the 6th place with the penalties, and it's Doppyman in 6th where he finished. Golden in 7th. Asmith too far behind Golden to take that, but he does pass Cassell on penalties, and Giraffe gets the final point with his teammate with 6 seconds worth of penalties finishing behind. Incidents for is up outside the points in 11th, and same with Dragos. A bad night for the racing points. Not the best nights for the not the best nights for the Red Bulls either, only picking up 1 point. And Smith picking up a point, but really could have got a podium. I feel out of that race earlier. But what a battle that entire race was. Let's be honest. There was very rarely any point there wasn't something going on, wasn't some sort of battle, especially that battle that we seen for the final podium place, and the bit of the midfield battle earlier on as well. It was a really good race and exactly kind of what I was expecting in terms of pulling off a great race. A track that in real life doesn't often give us amazing races. Our drivers here in the virtual world pull it off yet again. Tika does get the fastest lap as well after strapping on the softs at the end, so it gains the exact 8 points gap that he had over Brandon. So these two going into the next race are equal on points, so this is going to be an extremely interesting championship, and well done to Lower for picking up a podium as well. Golden doing the one stop. Right, let's just have a look at this. Golden did do a one stop and got himself 7th place, starting in 8th, so he didn't lose too much time. He did have 6 seconds worth of penalties, which did lose him, essentially lost him 4th or maybe even 3rd. So yeah, maybe the one stop will work, I don't know, but alas, almost everyone done a 2-stop, and the winners are the ones that done the 2-stop. Actually, Backer with a 3-stop using the safety cars, getting a 4th place. What a drive back through with the softs at the end for Backer, and well deserved 4th place. So I'm just going to remind myself, yeah, that's what I'm saying, remind myself what the next race is. Well, it won't be Britain, as we've already done that this season, but next week it's one of the classics. It's Belgium, it's Spa. I really do wonder how our drivers will be able to will be handling Spa. The least amount of laps, but the longest track that our drivers will go to this year, and always got the potential for a rain affected race or qualifying, so that could be very interesting if that happens. So to find out if that happens, and to find out if we can have another great race or an even better race, see who takes a definitive lead in the championship, Ticket or Brandon, you'll have to join us the same time next week for the C4 championship to continue in round 10 at Spa-Francorchamps. See you then.